a limit to how much can be spent on operating grants because of a statute that's actually in place. So this, many of us on the board said, we'd love to give you more operating grant money. Let's just let the organizations do what they think is best. They know how to run their businesses. They know how to do their marketing, but we're limited in what we can do. So what we thought would be beneficial to everyone is with this extra money that we got, which is pre-COVID limits now, we're back to where we were pre-COVID. Let's take that money and expand our Vacation Artfully initiative and really use that to help you guys promote your programming in that shoulder season, which is what, December through, when is April. It? April. Well, it's actually longer than that, isn't it?
Generally to the end of April.
Oh, okay, all right.
And then we start food.
Then you start, okay, start with food. But this is really an ongoing initiative to help you promote your programming and focus on getting tourists to Pensacola to see what you do. And so consider this free marketing because it really, really is. And we have the best of the best here to help you do what you do best. So that's basically what we're trying to do. We hope you find it beneficial. We think you will. We want you to be involved. We want you to be interacting with these organizations. And I'm going to turn it over to them and let them do their thing because they know what they're doing. They're great. I just want to, go ahead.
No, but I do think it's worth mentioning for those of you that have been around here for a while, that a long time ago, when I was working, we used to have a monthly meeting that's called the Cultural Executives Council. And it was the executive director for each one of the arts and cultural organizations getting together every month for an informational kind of how can we do this sort of thing. And that's one thing that ACE is looking to reestablish. And it gives you almost in this person, it has to be the executive director of each one of the organizations because those are people that make decisions. And so that's something, again, that ACE is wanting to do, and that will help feed into what these are guys that are going to present. And the hope is to, once a month, whether it's the first, whatever, Monday of the month, that this starts going on so that we can get updates and help you guys do that.
Okay. I'd like to introduce Mrs. Lee. She's one of our new ACE board members. Debbie Duma is a new ACE board member. Let's see.
I'm Mary, sorry to interrupt, but if you're speaking, we really need anyone and everyone to speak very closely to this computer. They can't hear you on Zoom.
Okay. And Bob, she's all right.
I don't know why that's showing. Give me 1 second. I don't know why that chat box is showing. Oh my God, just. One question, or one thing we will ask is if everybody that's on the Zoom could mute your speakers, and then we will allow for questions to be submitted via the chat button in the Zoom room. All right. All right, well, I'm Jared England. I'm the Director of Operations at Hummingbird Ideas. We are the advertising and branding firm that works with both Food Festival and Vacation Artfully to handle the branding and advertising, in addition to our friends at Giant Noise who handle PR. So as a group, we work on all the marketing strategy and implementation for both efforts under the ACE umbrella. I think it's important to know that because Vacation Artfully was kind of born after the fact, after Food Fest, and as a bit of a background, it's run its course over the last 4 or 5 years. In addition to food, but really, when you think about Food Fest, and I use this analogy, but at one point was a publicist in NASCAR. And we all know, or maybe know, that the Daytona 500 is kind of like the Super Bowl in NASCAR. But it's the first race of their season as opposed to the last race of their season. So when the Daytona 500 happens, it's like the Super Bowl. It kicks off, it creates a lot of excitement. So the way we kind of really think about Fufu is that it is a big event. It's the elephant in the room as far as the efforts, and you guys undertake a huge effort to produce big events, small events, unique events, and the community lives up for those 2 weeks. And it's really an opportunity to kick off the art season. So we view it as a kickoff to the art season. With Vacation Artfully then being the kind of season itself. It runs from after Fufu Fest through the end of April, heading into the spring and summer season, then we go right into Fufu Fest again in fall. But Vacation Artfully is basically the parent to Fufu. And the idea that when you're Fufuing, you're vacationing artfully. When you're vacationing artfully, you're vacationing artfully. So we want people to come to Pensacola and vacation artfully, whether it's during Fufu Fest or December, January, February, March, or April, or any other part of the year. So again, kick off Fufu Fest, last from December to April. And I think where we really started this conversation this year is there's been an additional investment made by ACE to really spend more effort, time, and quite frankly, invest more money in the Vacation Artfully effort. So when we started talking to Erica and the team at Giant Noise and the team from ACE and Lindsay and Mary, one of the things that I feel like we really had an opportunity to grow is, ACE as an entity is kind of, it is the entity that controls the grant applications and the doling out of the funds to produce events throughout the year, whether it's an operating grant or a Fufu Festival grant. But it's not necessarily an entity that's, has social media presence as ACE, or the website itself is really a website to handle the functionality of submitting a grant application or finding out events and things, finding out the timeline, downloading the grant scorecard, things of that nature. So we really were thinking about how can we be a resource, a better resource for the arts community. And the idea was to use Vacation Artfully as that vehicle. So the whole purpose of today's conversation is to really tell you guys what we do and how we support Vacation Artfully and how we'd like to further engage with you all. Now, I know over the last few months, a number of my team members, myself included, freelance writers that we engage with to produce content, have been engaging with a number of our local arts groups and have been producing content for the current Vacation Artfully effort. And these are Q&As that we're doing when we're interviewing executive directors and artistic directors and creative directors and so on and so forth about their seasons that are coming up, whether that's from now or through the end of the year. And we're using that content as part of our campaign and pushing that out. And the campaign for Vacation Artfully is regional. We'll go to the next slide. Sorry. Talking ahead, as I do. I am very verbose, I'll admit to that. So our agency, brand development, production, creative, and advertising, execution of the strategic regional marketing plan. This is kind of how we're all involved. We manage the website content creation, the posting of anything to the websites, any ACE property websites, so ACE Pensacola, Vacation Artfully, Fufu Fest, social media content creation, scheduling and posting, and we manage the email database for both ACE and Fufu Fest as far as promotion. You guys also get a lot of news alerts through that email distribution site. Erica and her team distribute media alerts and things of that nature. Giant Noise is our public relations partner. They are also the partner with Visit Pensacola. So it's a great resource for us and has been an awesome team member for us. And they handle media and influencer relations. And that's an ongoing thing. They handle media training for our committee members, for our folks that are out speaking on behalf of the organizations. And the community, strategic development of public relations efforts. And then, of course, we invite people here, someone needs to kind of help manage their experience. And so they help manage the on-site press attendees. For us, we both have different buckets of things that we're really focused on doing on behalf of Vacation Artfully. Our primary goal, just like Fufu Fest, is to increase fall, winter, and early spring tourism travel. as it pertains to the arts. We're trying to invite and attract people here so that they can experience the arts. But one of the things we really got into with last year's Food Fest is that the idea of coming here is really bigger than just like coming here to attend an arts event. There's a lot to do when you package the whole experience up. You come to experience an arts event. You can go to one of the breweries. You can do the brewery tour. You can have amazing food. You can do amazing dinners, and then you can go to this event. You can go to that event. So we really are trying to package up the whole experience. One of the big things, again, we want to do is further cultivate and directly build relationships with you guys. Ongoing communications. We have great communication through Food Fest. I mean, email, whether it's email, phone calls, text messages, are always available. We want that same relationship to be ongoing beyond Food Fest. We want to position ACE as your go-to resource to help tell your story, to help tell the story of the arts community and the cultural community, and the story, all the things that are kind of fit into the bucket and the vein of how we, position food. We do the paid media placements, and building upon that Principal in the Fall, Principal in the Winter messaging, and that's working in conjunction with Erica and her team. And again, truly introducing you guys and the folks that make up Principal's community, arts community. Again, we're developing your strategic marketing plan, planning and securing paid media plan that supports the strategic goals and objectives of strategic marketing plan. A big portion of what we do is creating advertising campaigns. So the headlines, the body copy, the assets that are being deployed or filling those buckets, and the paid media plan. And then we work in conjunction with Giant Noise with our advertising budget to help make inroads for them as it relates to potential PR partners. So it's something that we really hit our stride with last year as a group. So this is the first year we worked with Giant Noise through the festival, and it really proved to be successful. So some of the things, and Eric will go into more detail talking about this more expanded effort, is that we obviously have the budget that we're working with now for the advertising campaign. And the advertising campaign will continue to be tweaked and be focused on doing the things, a lot of the things that we are currently doing as far as the tactics that we're using. Where we really see opportunity with the increased budget is to go and engage with some of these larger publications and larger media houses to create much larger relationships, to create more engagement and excitement about Pensacola. And those include Garden Gun, Southern Living, Good Grits, a regional publication out of Birmingham, Texas Monthly, and Nashville Lifestyle. Those are some that we worked really closely with and successfully with Food Fest, and then New York Times Brand Studios. So some of these are aspirational, and they've always been aspirational for Vacation Artfully, but with the expanded budget, they're becoming more and more in reach for us. Just one last slide, I think for me, one of the big things that we've been working on is we created some unique experience content during Food Fest. We've been able to kind of repurpose that in the short term for Vacation Artfully. So that's, girls' weekend getaway in Pensacola, the things you must do, the things you must see. Couples getaway, empty nesters, which are the folks that are traveling without kids, or folks that don't have kids and travel with their friends. All of these things, in addition to the things that you guys do as organizations. So if you go to the website after you guys leave here today, you'll see some Q&As that we've done recently with some of the local organizations. I see Sid is here today. The Pensacola Little Theater has done one so far. We've kind of started working our way down the list. I think we've done, 9 or so are on the website currently, and we're working our way through. But all of those Q&As are meant to kind of, our site is meant to have people come here through the campaign to the site and then send them to your site. So one of the things that we are asking is that you guys are engaging us and providing us your calendars and your event calendars that they're correct, that they're accurate, and it's a conversation. In addition to that, the information on your sites is correct because all the traffic that we're sending to our site is being passed through to yours. So just an idea of kind of how things work there. Generally, that's kind of how Hummingbird Ideas supports Vacation Artfully. And I'll take questions after the fact about how we can better communicate with you all, but I want to pass it on to Erica.
Hi everyone, for those of you that I haven't had the chance to meet yet, my name is Erica Benkin. I'm the Vice President of Giant Wise San Antonio. We have had the pleasure of working with food since last year and for Visit Pensacola over the past couple of years. We are based in Texas, but I actually consider Pensacola to be home. My whole family lives here, so I'm here pretty much 6 months throughout the year anyway. And so I'm thankful to work with Foo and now Vacation Artfully and ACE as a whole to be here even more and to bringing more people to the destination and getting them familiar with everything that Pensacola has to offer, especially in an artful way. So just to kind of give you an idea of what we do, working with Vacation Artfully, our goal is going to be to bring local, regional, national media awareness to everything that's happening in the destination from an arts perspective. So what we're going to be doing with you all is really finding what are those unique ways to promote cultural tourism to the destination. What are each of you doing that we can work to spotlight? What are media looking for that makes you a great representative to speak on behalf of the destination? So what you'll start to see as we start working together is a lot of emails from my team, a lot of media leads that are coming through, and different ideas that we have that throughout the year that Jared and I will be doing together with our teams is finding strategic ways to really promote how to vacation artfully in Pensacola. So one of these opportunities is, of course, bringing top-tier media to the destination, identifying who those folks are that are really going to tell this story and tell it well. Who is it of value to bring into the destination to see all of the different groups that you work with and also showcase the destination as a whole. And as Jared mentioned earlier, part of that too is, we work very closely with each of you all, but we know that you're very busy too. So our goal is to always have members of our team here in the destination to help bring them around, to make those introductions to you all so you have that chance to engage with them too, and really make sure that they're having this robust experience when they're visiting Pensacola. Something else that we have budgeted for this year is, creating fun media mailers. So for example, if it's National Museum Month, how do we work with the different museums here in Pensacola to create something that's fun, engaging, to share with media who may not be able to make it here right away, or maybe, that we're targeting for different aspects. So if we're not bringing them to the destination, how can we still give them a taste of it? So this is something that, as Jared mentioned, when it comes to different, exhibitions that you might have going on or different shows that you're producing, we want to make sure that we're receiving all of that information so that as we're putting together these ideas, we're considering everything that you guys have going on to really create these fun little packages and taste the destination that we can give to media. And then also as part of that too, our team is constantly in touch with media all across the US and internationally, talking about lifestyle, travel, arts, culture, a little bit of everything. Nicole and I actually had an opportunity to both go to a major travel conference for media last week in New York and heard more about what those trends are going to be for this year, what media are looking to hear about. And arts and culture is a big part of that. And so we think this is a great time to really tell them how they can vacation artfully in Pensacola. And we'll do that through, different announcements and pitch angles that we'll be working with you guys on all throughout the year. And so with that too, on behalf of ACE and Vacation Artfully, we'll be putting together all of the press releases, media alerts, fact sheets, everything to really showcase how to vacation artfully here in Pensacola together. With that, we'll be asking from you all, different assets that you have from each of your organizations. Imagery is really important. If you have video content, we love that too, to make sure that we're building as robust of an arsenal as possible as we're working with media to tell them more about how to vacation artfully here. And with that too, we'll have very curated lists of different media that we're targeting, as well as influencers. From the brand partnership side, as Jared mentioned, something that we were able to do really successfully with food this past year was identifying who are these different outlets like Nashville Lifestyles magazine, for example, that will tell a great story about what Pensacola is. That's a good drive market for people who are seeing those publications and can come here. And so we're looking at different ways, including the outlets that he mentioned before, now that we have this bigger budget available, to work with people that we haven't in the past that require a little bit of but we know are already interested in the destination too. Something else that you'll see from our team is we put together weekly and monthly activity reports so that you have an idea of all of the stories that are being generated around ACE and Vacation Artfully, just to give you a sense too of, you know, what partners are being spotlighted, different pieces that we're working with you on and asking to do interviews for, just to make sure that you're getting all of those pieces back and seeing what's happening. And then with that too, something that we like to be aware of is if you are receiving, you know, individual media requests, especially if it's from a regional or a national media member, if you can just let us know, you know, it might be someone that we're already talking to as well, and we just want to make sure that we're tying up all those ends together. Or if there's an opportunity to talk even more about how to vacation artfully, we would love to make sure we're doing that too. And then experience. So another thing too that we'll do here is, you know, our team will come into the destination. We'll be looking to meet with you guys more often too in person to hear more about what you're doing. You know, as we have different promotional opportunities that we're working on with Hummingbird, we'll be reaching out to you for those. I know I'm looking at Sid, for example. He can tell you that I hit people up with interview requests all the time. We want to make sure that as we're working with you guys more, that, you know, we want to be respectful of your time, but we might be asking for, you know, some phone interviews here, some in-person interviews there. And so any flexibility that your team has too, we really appreciate that support as well. Because again, we're working all together in this and want to make sure we're promoting the destination as best as we can. And then on this slide, this is just to give you a glimpse of media hosting. So again, this is something that we did with food this past year and are looking to expand upon with Vacation Artfully this year. But identifying, you know, who are some key media in different markets across the US that we can bring in that we know are going to tell our story well. One example of this is Michelle Herman. She's a New York-based lifestyle writer. We actually had the pleasure of meeting with her in New York last week. She was somebody that had previously expressed interest in Fufu last year, but was a little hesitant about COVID travel at the time. But you know, she's interested in hearing even more about how to vacation artfully this year. She's someone that writes a lot about, you know, the entertainment and art aspects of destinations. So she's someone that we could see being a really good opportunity to have here and to meet with you all and tell that story. Similar with Becca Hensley, she's an Austin-based lifestyle writer who contributes to a lot of great regional and national publications, as well as Sarah Pascone and Cassie Packard, who are more of that like inner deep arts-focused writers that are both based out of New York. So these are just a sample of the kinds of people that we're having conversations with that we're going to be looking to bring into the destination, hopefully on a monthly or bi-monthly basis, as it makes sense to really experience how to vacation artfully here in Pensacola. And then this is just, you know, an opportunity to stay in touch. So we'll send this around to the group too. I know Jared and Jennifer have both provided their emails here. And then for my team, I also work with Amanda Craig and Sarah Zapata, who are both based in San Antonio and Austin. You can reach us collectively at the email here. That way, if there's anything from a press need that you have, it all goes to one collective email. And then again, just to recap what Jared mentioned earlier, you know, anything from events calendars to content that you have that's approved for media use, as well as the key points of contact for each of you. So if there is someone from the press or marketing side that should be our point person for asks, we want to make sure that we're contacting the right people to save your time too. And again, if there's any updates happening with any of your organizations or changes to fact sheets or anything we should be aware of, we want to make sure that we're putting out the most correct information as possible. So anything that you can send to us is always appreciated.
And that is the end of the presentation, but we're open for questions. Those on Zoom, if you're interested in asking questions, please feel free. Those in attendance. Any questions, Mary?
Nicole, you want to take a minute to talk about, Visit Pensacola and some opportunities for the organizations that she provides?
Sure. So Visit Pensacola, as you know, is the tourism destination marketing and management organization for all of Escambia County. So we are here, and I've asked Melissa Bailey, our partner relations manager, to come, and she's actually going to say a few words. But we wanted to talk about how you can help us help you. We have just recently launched a new brand. It's The Way to Beach. And I know that sometimes when we say that, you automatically think all we do is talk about the beach, and that's not true. So we really want to help you connect the dots and help us connect the dots that the way to beach means that Pensacola does have some of the world's most beautiful beaches, but we also have arts, we have culture, we have culinary, we have a downtown, we have universities, and that is the way to beach. We are the beach. And so we would love for it to be the artful way to beach, if you will, and we'd love for you to engage with us on social media and just get involved. And I've asked Melissa to talk about our partnership opportunities. There's free ways, everybody likes free. And then there's also ways that if you join us as a paid partner, we can elevate that experience and really connect you with even more opportunities. So Melissa's actually gonna take it away.
I always hate going after Nicole Stacy. I don't know if anyone else has gone after Nicole Stacy, but it's not in the best place meant to be, but I'm gonna give it my best shot. We just appreciate everything that, God, I just love all of you. I didn't see everyone that was here, and I'm looking at people's faces. We appreciate that we have come so far. Our town, Pensacola, and we've got something so special that these other towns that are, you know, they have a pretty beach and white sand, but you can only be outside for a certain period of time before you need to be engaged with other things to do, which is something that I feel is so special about Pensacola, and it is the arts, and it is the theater and the music, and our downtown is such a lively place to be, which is why I love this new position that I am in. I've grown to learn a lot about the arts and culture, of course, through Maria Goldberg. Up here with Great Southern for the 20 years I was there, watching her incorporate the arts in just in every little way that she could, which is exactly what we are trying to do. If you want to highlight the opera, she's running a dinner around the opera. People that have never been to the opera now get that little taste, and then you're experienced in the opera, and now you want to go. There's always this big drive. Same here, we want to highlight those special things that we have, and in ways of doing that, we provide free outlets for you, if you will. One of them being, of course, the events calendar, which I know you say, okay, I've got to upload it on our Instagram and then social and then this other way, but the amount of traffic that we have going through the website, somewhere in a year, about 1.8 million visitors. The most popular page is going to be the events page. So you're letting traffic go by without them seeing you or hearing you if you're not posting something about your event on that page that's going to captivate them to see in a big scope, oh my God, look at Pensacola and all of these amazing different things to do. It's not just going to be, beach happy hour or what have you. There's nothing wrong with beach happy hour. We all know that. But in saying that, you have these opportunities which are free, which we provide to everyone that's doing an event in Escambia County. First and foremost would be the website to upload your events. The others would be the newsletter. Your consumer newsletter is going to hold so much information about things that we are working on in the future and things that you might want to incorporate and be a part of to kind of tie, like we did with dinners and the opera and tying them together. There's such a large amount of partners that we have that like to work together. So if you're seeing someone that has, a bar or restaurant, it's like, hey, we're going to want to do some sort of artistic event. We've got a lot of people that collaborate, like with what, I'm going to say her name again, Maria has done through Great Southern. So you'll be able to, if you participate in what we have to offer, like the hospitality round luncheons, they're available to partners and non-partners. Go meet the heads of all of the hotels and the restaurants with your ideas. Tell them about your events, and I promise you it's going to start to spark. Oh, that sounds fun. You have that going on? Come here. Alga Beer, there were different type of events that they were doing downtown. Like Emerald City had some great events. Well, when it closed, there's not a lot of great events like that happening. So they pulled it to Alga, and they get to have those there now. There's a lot of opportunities in meeting people in our community, and we offer the place to meet them every month. It's already mapped out for the year, so please go to the website and you'll be able to see the ones that you can sign up for right now. These are all free to you because we're here and we love everything that you do. Please utilize those. Things when it comes to being a partner. Once you're a partner, your event will not only be on the event site, but we also have our event snapshot, which is going to show anyone that we send out our newsletter to. It's going to highlight those events from that particular time frame. Only partners can be on that particular snapshot. So that's something in an advanced level of what you can do. Secondly would be to be a part of a lot of our digital ads. So if you guys are wanting to come in as a partner, now we have this beautiful website. Please, if you haven't looked at it, look at it. and everyone in my family looked at it because it's gorgeous and I love it. Go to the new beautiful website and you guys will start to see all of the positionings, the places that you can buy ads, which are all extremely economical because we want everyone to have the opportunity to be a part of it. And that's something that we can get in front of people too as well. Oh, last but not least, thank you very much. I love everything. Also too, our app. So the Visit Pensacola app is something for a paid partnership that you would also be a part of. We all know, everyone, this is how you plan your trip when you're at work, when you're not supposed to be in your car. And so then you would also be a part of that with all of the events and everything that you're submitting.
And the last thing I'll say is our social media. So if you're not following Visit Pensacola on all the channels, please do. If you're not tagging us in your stuff, please do. We would love to engage with you and share what you've got going on. Every Thursday on our Instagram stories is events throughout Pensacola, so yours could be one too. And we do actually have one of our board members here who is a big part of the arts and culture entertainment. So Sid Williams, he has helped us phenomenally kind of connect the dots of like why it's the way to beach, but also the artful way to beach. And so if you wanted to add anything to the benefit of Visit Pensacola, that'd be great.
Sure. Should I talk up there so they can?
You're pretty loud, so wherever you want to be.
So I mean, let's call this space great. I think it's easy for a lot of us to kind of write off Visit Pensacola because we don't qualify for the grant. So we just go after the grant pool and where the money is. But it's so much more than that. And y'all made a huge difference in just our organization because it's all about telling the story, right? We all exist and we tell stories and some of us sing it and some of us dance it and some of us act it. But it's all in that name and that's what they do. And that's whether it's Vacation Artfully or Fufu, but especially Visit Pensacola kind of is that one collective head. They're going to tell our stories and they're going to tell them right because we're all the experts on programming and we're all the experts on our local patrons, right? We know what they want. But we all want to grow. And so we've seen that great influx of growth because y'all are the experts on getting new people here, what that data looks like. And I mean, I'll tell you, sometimes our programming is wrong. We think we're doing what people want to see, but the data will show something totally different. So it's been very instrumental for us. I think that having it in a central location has been really good too. Because we'll post about it all day, but if no one's there to see it, then we definitely want the loudest person in the room doing that. So absolutely do it. The benefits are totally worth it, and don't just think because you're ace-funded that Visit Pensacola off.
Thanks, Sid. And we all work hand in hand. We work, I mean, like this all day, every day. So
separate but equal is no longer ace Pensacola.
Well, and so that just is exactly where I want to go. Is that so for years and years and years, everything worked in different silos, and so did this, and so did this. And one of the great things that we have seen as a transition that has changed within, really, it started with number one, the administration of Visit Pensacola and some changing of how they did things over there. Also, too, is a changing of how we did things through ACE with Food. And one of the best things I think that has happened is we need to, there's a group of us that keep nailing home cultural tourism. That's the most important thing. And there are other things as well, but there's a group of us that are all about cultural tourism. And what has been wonderful is to have Nicole as the Visit Pensacola Director of Communications as a curator for food. Because this is what happened. You know what I mean? This is exactly what happened. And so now Nicole knows everything that's going on with you guys. Why? Because she's involved with food. And now all of a sudden she's like, okay, let's bring this in, Then, we already had Hummingbird, which was fantastic, doing a great job. But then also too, we were able to bring on Erica and her team with Giant Noise, who was already employed by Visit Pensacola. So now, instead of the left hand and the right hand not knowing what they're doing, we all know what's going on. So it's us, I think, as the arts organizations collectively to be responsible to get on the ride, however that may be, whether it is getting involved with Hope with Vacation Artfully. And again, I know Mario will get into this at some point in time about once a month having these meetings. They'll be at these meetings through Zoom. That's your opportunity to say, here's what's going on next month. Get the word out there. Also, too, to get your listings up on the visit page. Vacation Artfully is going directly to Visit's calendar. So once you put it on Visit's calendar, if anyone goes to Vacation Artfully or to Visit, they're going to see your events. So it's just really important. What we're trying to do is we're trying to thread the needle of cultural tourism, and that's what it's all.
Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions? Anybody on Zoom have questions?
I don't think so. Does anyone on Zoom have questions? Silence.
So we'll send, for those on Zoom, I know there's some overlap from the Foo Fest meeting and the Vacation Artfully meeting. We appreciate everybody spending so much time in the cultural tourism realm of Pensacola today. But we will send an email blast out to everyone that has downloadable the PD or the presentations from today as reference. I'm going to cut this video up from today's recording and hopefully have the meeting available for viewing on acepensacola.org, where you can actually watch this meeting or these meetings today if you so choose. But, you know, I think if you have questions or want clarification, you know, as a group, if you want to just email Mary or you want to email our team, please feel free to contact us. I mean, I think the important thing to know is that right now we have Vacation Artfully going on, and we are proactively conducting interviews, posting, and then moving on to the next 4 or 5 interviews for the local organizations and working our way through the list. The big opportunity moving forward is the 2022, 2023, and we just really want, you know, you guys to understand that we're planning to, I guess, really ramp this thing up in the next few months. So appreciate y'all's time.
Val, thank you for coming, and I hope you see this as a wonderful opportunity. I really do. It's so exciting to me. And I'm so glad that we all get to work together. You know, ACE for the longest time has been, we get money and we give it, and that's all we get. But we want to see ourselves as a much larger resource for all of you. It's just going to benefit everyone. So thank you for coming.